Welcome to your new e-collar system. Vigilant Canine does use and recommend the e-collar technology systems. We do use the Mini here. This is the handheld device. The dial on the top, right up here, is what controls your numbers. As you can see, we're at 0. The system does go all the way up to a high point of 100. Very few dogs will ever hit anywhere near that point, but it does go up there in case of an emergency and you need to stop a behavior absolutely immediately, like your dog is running off and you need to make them not run off anymore because of danger. Typically, most dogs start to kind of work between 12 and 20 on here. So again, we're going to dial it down. This walkthrough video is going to show you exactly how to use the collar and how to make sure the collar is fit appropriately. So most humans, at least for my experience, they kind of start to feel the collar between 12 and 17. So I'm going to go ahead and move the collar up to 17. That's what I'm going to use my demonstrations on. So my collar is set at 17. We're going to go over all the buttons so you fully understand how to use the collar. And the next part of the video will be your dog learning how to communicate with this system. Might be a different color, but same system. With the collar, we do want to make sure it's turned on. To turn on the collar, there is 2 magnetic points. There's a red one on the receiver and a red dot on the handheld. When you put those together, it turns it off, and then it will turn it back on. To make sure it's on, I like to test with the vibration button. So it's the single button with the T marked on it. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's the one button where it's the only one on this side. If you hit it, that red light goes off and it vibrates. Collar is up and ready to run. A reminder, dogs can safely wear the system for up to 8 hours. We typically don't want them wearing it more than 8 hours at a time, as it can start to rub on the skin and create uncomfortable marks on the skin. It's not from the correction itself, but rather from the pressure of the collar sitting tightly in one spot over a long period of time. When we're working with the system, the black S on the top is a NIC correction, which means it gives out 1 single volt of correction. If you tell your dog to sit and they don't sit, we would want to hit that button. You can press it and hold it, but it does only issue the correction once. You can see as the red light is going off, that's every time I'm hitting a correction. If we are working on creating movement, so we're asking our dog to go to place and we want them to move a little bit quicker there, we're asking them to recall to us and we want them to move towards us, or we're working with loose leash heeling and we want to work with that leash pressure. So if the leash is tight, we want to issue a continuous correction. That is the red S. The collar kind of sits naturally, so your fingers should be sitting on them. So if we say come, we issue the continuous correction. That collar correction keeps going until we release the correction. So again, come, correction. Dog gets to us, correction's off. Come, correction's off. Again, they're very low levels. Again, most dogs work between 17 and 20. I am using the 17 mark on myself. Very low correction and very easy to understand on there. Collar just added benefits on here. On the back there is a L. It does turn on a light, so you can just flash it once. Otherwise you can have it on there continually. So off, flashing, continual. Really nice if you're walking outside. Not necessary, but definitely an added bonus of this system in particular. If you are walking your dog and you don't want the correction level to change, you can press and hold the dial on the top. So if we press and hold, it'll blink, and that now means that the collar cannot be changed. It is on the correction level and our pocket cannot accidentally change that collar. Another nice little system boost on here is it does have a boost. So if your dog is not listening to the normal level that they work, if you press down, so say we're doing a continuous correction, we press down, and if we press the top button at the same time, it'll boost the collar up quite a bit. So it gives a sharper correction. If we're needing something kind of emergency based, the dog is running away, they're not listening to their normal level because they're chasing a cat instead. So we continuous and boost it up. So again, first button, second button.